Hi all, welcome back to Malware Analysis. I am Jay Lavanya, Assistant Professor of CSE Department. So today in this video, we are gonna discuss on the topic called SysInternals tools under anti-malware analysis, right? So first of all, what is meant by SysInternals tools? So SysInternals tools are used for malware analysis, not by the malware itself. Tools like Process Explorer and Process Monitor allows the analysis to investigate the running processes, monitor the system activity, and analyze the behavior of malicious software. Okay, and it is a wide and meanwhile array of super useful utilities that not only provide some of the most critical and detailed system information otherwise not generally available, but also a highly granular level of control over the Windows system. The general capabilities of the multitude of tools within this zone fall loosely within the categories of monitoring, troubleshooting, information gathering, security, optimizations, enhancement, and a lot more. Yeah, okay. And this, it was an advanced system utilities and technical tools for Windows, originally created by Mark Reisenbusch, and now it is maintained by the Microsoft company. So these tools are designed for some system administrators, IT professionals, and advanced users to help with some system troubleshooting, performance monitoring, and security analysis. Here are some of the popular, next thing which deals is about how system internal tools are used, or some of the common, uh, like tools which is used for system internal tools. So first is that Process Explorer. It is an advanced task manager that provides detailed information about the running processes as well as the system rules. So this Process Explorer, in turn, what will do is that it has some several features, right? Like it contains some uh, view of running process, their associated DLL, and handles, which is crucial for identifying suspicious processes and their actions. It includes a built-in virus total feature to check the reputation of processes according to the computer node. Yeah, okay. And while beneficial, a recent vulnerability in how system internal tools load DLL present a security risk, as attackers can exploit it to load some malicious code by placing a rogue DLL in the same directory as a system internal executable, thus gaining some system privileges. Okay, and next is that process monitor. So this process monitor is otherwise called ProcMon, right? So this topic we have already discussed during the session of Unit 3. Okay, just go to and you can recollect that. It is a real-time file system registry and a process thread activity monitoring tool. Okay, and this involves several features that is most probably used, right? Here it contains some logs, real-time file system, registry, and network activity that offers some deep insights into some malware's operational patterns and behaviors. And next topic that is auto run. So logs, real-time file system, registry, and network activity offering deep insights into malware's operational patterns and behavior. Yeah, and next is Sysmon. So this Sysmon, it is a powerful system monitoring tool that logs the detailed information about the system events such as process creation, network connection, and file changes, which are essential for tracking and investigating malicious activity. And next, SysCheck, a utility that displays the details of a file's version, digital signature, and certificate authority. Yeah. And next, apart from these commonly tools that is used, we have like rootkit revealer, which it scans for some uh, like where the exploitation for rootkits, or like a type of malware that is designed to hide from standard detection methods, ensuring system integrity, security risk, and mitigation. Okay, and this apart from this, we have PS tools, a suite of command line tools for managing local and remote system, and TCP view, a detailed network connection viewer, and disk to BHD that creates a virtual hard disk images of physical disk, and frog dump, a command line utility that monitors an application for CPU spikes and generates the crash dumps, and SysMon, a system monitoring tool that logs the system activity to the Windows event log handle that shows information about open handles for any process. Rootkit Revealer, it's an advanced rootkit detection utility and desktop which creates up to 4 virtual desktop. A next one like Zoom it, a screen zoom, and an annotation tool for technical presentations, right? So these tools are free to download and use from the Microsoft SysInternals website. They are particularly useful for some diagnosing system issues or monitoring performance and enhancing security on Windows system. Okay, so these are the common things, and apart from that, this internal source, it has some specific examples, or complexity, and that supports like more than 70 tools that was developed by SysInt. Now it's a part of Microsoft. So these are widely used by the IT professionals, system administrators, developers, and power users. Okay, now let's dive into the next topic, that is SysInternal. So these are the SysInternal tools which is available in the Microsoft website. Okay, and like common, as I told, like that will be some process explorer, process monitor, auto run. Okay, and like checks or sig check. Okay, so all those, or the TCP view. Okay, that is a Windows command line program that displays detailed listings of all TCP and UDP endpoints on your system. That includes the local and remote addresses and state of TCP connection. And here also you could see like R map and so many things like zoom it, sync, okay, and who is portman, and PS5 and UE64 handle, clock rest, right? And RAM map is a tool for analyzing the physical memory usage of a system. It provides detailed information about how the memory is being allocated and disk usage that enables you to see the disk space usage by the directory and defragments your paging files and registry hives. Okay, so these are some of the common, sys internals tools. Okay, Yeah. Yeah, okay. So these are the system internal tools, right? And like we have seen like uh, there are some process explorer in the sense its purpose we know, right? If you take the example, like identify which process is looking for a file, say like process exp.exe, we have to go for like control F and search for the process. And file name, we have to kill or analyze the process. And next, like procmon usage is also mean like real-time logging of file, right? An example, diagnosing a failing application, say like filter or like result which contains the access and denied like the trace file or the registry access error. Okay, and the PS tool suites like PSEXEC, we know that execute commands remotely like PSEXE the double slash remote PC hyphen u admin hyphen p password notepad.exe. By giving this command, it will be prompted the user to enter the suite. Okay, so this is one of the tool, and here you can see there is another thing like a PS kill. Okay, so PS kill, what will do is that it terminates the name, as you have learned it OES, like ready, run state, kill, terminate. Okay, that is used for terminating the process. And PS kill minus, there is underscore t, suppose 1 2 3 4, that kills the process with the process ID 1 2 3 4 and its children, right? And next, if you take like auto run, it managed startup programs or the services. Example, disable a suspicious startup entry, like uncheck the entries and log on or the scheduled tasks and tabs. Okay, there is one more case like a handle. We all know its process, its main thing is to identify the open file handles. Okay. The example, if you take like it may be finding a what's looking in SQL and suppose file.txt. So that is the main purpose of this handle. Okay, yeah. So these are some of the common assist internal tools available. Okay, and next we will discuss on the sys internal tools, suite tools. Okay, so what is its main suite tool is that access check, that is access enum, that is enumerate, and AD Explorer, that is Active Directory Explorer, and AD Insight, that is Active Directory Insight, and AD Restore, Active Directory Restore. Okay, so these are uh, you know, it is used in SysInternals suite tools. But apart from that, we have some security risk investigation, like vulnerability exploitation. A vulnerability in the DLL loading mechanism of SysInternal tools allows the attackers to place a malicious DLL in a directory with a SysInternals executable. Okay, and rogue DLL loading, when the SysInternal tool is executed, it may load the malicious DLL instead of the legitimate system file that grant the attacker code execution with potentially system privileges. Okay, and mitigation. So avoid the network location, like never run the assist internal tools from the network share. Instead, copy them to a secure local directory before the execution. Yeah. Okay. And next, like restrict DLL path, which configure the operating system to prioritize secure directories in the DLL search bar, and use the Microsoft Store. Install the SysInternals tools from the Microsoft Store or use the network share. Okay, and these are some of the tools which includes like PS tools also. The first one, like access check, it's a command line only. Okay, that is it shows the effective permissions on files, registry keys, services, processes, kernel objects, and more. And next, like Windows administrators often need to know to ensure that they have created a secure environment, what kind of accesses specific users or the groups have to specific resources, files, directories, registry keys, global objects, and Windows services. So this tool provides all this information. And next, like access enum, that is access enumerate. So guy only tier that shows what access to directories, files, and register keys on the system. And it is typically used to find inconsistencies with the permission. Okay, so managing permission for users to have some appropriate access to files, directories, and registries keys can be quite difficult. So making it even more difficult, there is no Windows built-in way to readily and conveniently view users' accesses for a particular tree of directories or keys of the registry. Okay. So this tool provides a full view of the file system and registry security settings within some seconds, and making the ideal tool to help define security holes and lockdown permissions wherever necessary. Okay, and next, add explorer, that is active directory explorer. Okay, it is advanced viewer and editor for active directory. Yeah, so this tool allows to conveniently navigate an active directory database, view object properties and attributes, edit permissions, view an object schema, and perform complex searches that are savable and reperformable. Another commendable feature of this tool is the ability to save snapshots of an active directory database for offline viewing as though it were a live database. Okay, and like snapshots could further also be used to compare a snapshot with another to know of the object's attributes and security permissions that differ or change between them. Okay. And next, like add insight, it is active directory insight. It monitor to troubleshoot active directory client application. So this tool uses DLL injection techniques to intercept calls that applications make in the WLDAP32.dll library, which is the standard library underlying active directory API such as LDAP and ADSI. So this tool intercepts and interprets all client-side API, including those that do not result in transmission to a server. So without administrator privileges, this tool monitors any processes into which it can inject its tracing DLL. So with administrative privileges, it will also monitor the system processes, including some Windows services, right? And like next is AD restore, that active directory restore. It is a command line only that recovers or undeletes server 2003 active directory objects or the deleted objects called the tombstones within the Windows Server 2003 could be restored. So this tool enumerates deleted objects in a domain and provides the option to restore them as well. Okay. And next is that auto logon. Auto logon, that is a guy only. So it bypasses the password screen during logon by automatically logging it for you. So using this tool, instead of waiting for a user to enter their username and password, while on the logon screen, Windows logs the specified user in automatically. So although the credentials are encrypted and stored in the registry as a local security authority secret, a user with administrative privileges could easily read them and decrypt them. Okay. So while this tool is enabled on the system, if the shift key is pressed and held before, an automatic logon could be performed. Then automatic logon is disabled only for that single logon instance. Can you able to understand? Yeah. So these are the common system internal tool, that's PS tools, right? Yeah, but apart from that, we have like auto run, that's a command line plus guide. It shows the programs that are configured to start up automatically when the system boots and your login. And also shows a full list of registry and file locations where the applications could configure auto start settings, and this is the most comprehensive auto start monitoring tool that not only knows of the program and drivers that are ready to auto run on the system via the startup folder and registry keys such as run owns and others, but also it reports the Explorer shell extensions, toolbar, browser helper objects, WinLogon notifications, okay, and auto start services and a lot more. Since all these entries could get overwhelming, this tool also allows a display filter that hides all trusted Microsoft native startup images, therefore highlighting upon only the third-party startup images, right? And next is that background information, that is BG info. So this BG info, it's a command line plus graphical user interface. It is fully configurable program that generates the wallpapers that includes important information about the system, including computer name, IP address, network address, and more. Okay. And this tool cannot only write all this user selected system information onto the desktop wallpaper, but also the logon screen. Also, since this tool simply writes all this information onto the specified wallpaper and automatically exists, it does not constantly run in the background to consume any further resources or cause any interference with some other applications. Okay. And next is that a blue screen, that is screensaver. It is an ultra realistic Windows blue screen of that screensaver. This tool not only accurately and authentically simulates the infamous Windows blue screen of death, but it also simulates a single fake reboot after the BSOD expel that complete with the Windows boot sequence and loading bar, and even adds a simulated CHK DSK, that is disk check utility scan, with some dummy disk errors following the fake reboot. Just like the real deal, but also surprisingly uncanny looking harmless screensaver prank. And next, like catch set or the this is a guide only application. It allows to control the working set size of the system cache, and it could be used to tune the performance. In addition to allowing to manipulate the working set or the physical memory, such as size or the system cache, this tool also allows to reset the caching's working set, therefore setting it up to expand as necessary from a minimal initial size. Also, unlike other tools with some similar functionalities, changes made to this tool are immediately applied and in effect. Okay. And next, like clock resolution. It is a command line only. Okay. It shows the minimum, maximum, and current resolution of the system clock timer. The smallest possible unit of time increment a clock is able to perform accurately is called as clock resolution. For example, the clock resolution is 0.25 seconds, that is 250 milliseconds. It means that the minimum or the delta difference between two adjacent values of time will be 0.25 seconds. In other words, the clock resolution is the minimum increment unit of time it supports or the maximum granularity of the clock. This tool uses the Windows function named Get System Time Adjustment to gather and display this information. Okay. Config, that's a command line only. It's a single file, a defragmenter that allows to optimize individual files while performing a typical defragmentation. It is difficult to ensure frequently used files since they remain fragmented for various reasons that could be specific to the particular defragmentation algorithm that is being used. Even if all files have been defragmented, subsequent changes to critical files could cause them to become fragmented. Here is what these tools explain. Being a single file defragmented as opposed to defragmenters that typically defragment the entire disk, this tool attempts to make individually specified files continuous on the disk so that they could be in a few fragments on the disk as possible. Okay, and the last internal tool is like core info. It's a command line only, shows a processor and cache topology information. This tool uses the Windows function name get logical processor information to uptime and display processor and cache the topology information, such as a mapping between the logical processor and the physical processor and NUMA node and socket on which they reside and caches assigned to each logical processor. And what about a NUMA node? Yeah, so, NUMA node, what it represents, it's a collection of hardware resources, CPU, memory, I/O buses within a larger non-uniform memory access architecture, where each node CPU can access its own local memory and I/O faster than the resources on other nodes. So that is called as a NUMA node. Yeah, okay. So I hope that you can install this internal suite by downloading the zip file from the SysInternal download page, extract and placing the tools in a directory like percentage program files or percentage SysInternals, right? Just you can download from the SysInternal website, or you can extract the file and you can move the shoulder like percentage program file, percentage is internal, and you have to add a path. It is an environmental variable. You have to just set up and click on the advanced setting and all those stuff you have to do, or by means of method 2 that is directly installed from the Microsoft Store or the app or the Windows PC. Just search for the SysInternal suite and press enter and click on the get button to install it, and you can able to access it, right? So this is very simple to install from the Microsoft Store. Okay, I hope this video will be very useful. So in this video we have discussed on the topics called SysInternal suite tools, which was developed by the Microsoft team, and how the SysInternal tools is used in malware analysis. And we have discussed about the so many tools like Process Explorer, process monitor, that is proc1, auto runs, sysmon, sigcheck, rootkit revealer, and vulnerability exploitation, and rogue DLL loading. Yeah, that includes also some PS tools like access check, access enum, the explorer, active directory insight, right? So these are some of the common sys internal suite tools. Thank you all.